I've been waiting for you for a long time. You heard something, a story maybe, or you met someone with a number on his arm. Someone who said a few words that really made you curious. Frightening words, ugly words, words like ghetto, gas chambers, crematoria, words about death, words about corpses, words that wipe out the idea of living human beings. Once, there was a big city like Paris or New York where lots of different people lived, just like everywhere else. It was a very cultured city with its own symphony and opera and its very own elegant restaurants and cafes. I even sang in a choir there, and the audience was dressed in tuxedos and gowns. And then one day, that city turned into a jungle, and it disappeared. Once, there was a large group of people who lived in that city. They had their own schools and newspapers, their own theaters, political parties, hospitals, even a language that was only theirs. And then one day, those people turned into ghosts, and they disappeared. Don't ask me why it happened. I don't know. Don't ask me how it happened. When you're trying to fight for your life, you don't really have time to just stop and look around. Better to ask me what happened, because that I can tell you. This is a story, but nobody made it up. It sounds unbelievable, but every word is true. It happened to so many people who never lived to tell the tale. It happened to me, and I did. I was 15 then, I'm 15 now. For the rest of my life, I will be 15. There's no before or no after. Just that same year, day after day, when I was 15. This is a story about a group of kids. They were my friends. And the last time we were together, we made a vow. If one of us lived, he would make sure that I would know. If one of us made it out, he would make sure that the people would know.
So, what the hell are you waiting for? A golden engraved invitation?
I see their faces at night. I hear their voices all day.
Or the Messiah, maybe. Didn't you hear? He's in permanent hiding, too ashamed to show his face.
Congratulations. It's about time you opened your mouth. If I were you, I would have come through a long time ago.
Yankele, Rudy, Lutek.
Tell about the Jew hunter in the Christian market, how he pulled a knife on us, so we pulled out 4 knives on him.
Sevik, Mala, Hella, Helena. Just kids. 14, 15 years old.
Tell about the milk. It was easier to get gold than a glass of milk.
Kids who died. Kids who you never heard of. Kids who disappeared without a trace.
Tell about the smuggling.
Kids who just happened to be my sister, my girlfriend, and my best friends.
Tell them we fought back.
This is a story that lives in the present. A history that won't stay in the past. A memory. My life.
So talk already. You want a memory? The day they announced the ghetto. Shit, I didn't even know what a ghetto was.
The day we all had to move. 400,000 people crammed in like sardines.
The day they put up the goddamn walls, and suddenly we all lived in a goddamn zoo.
This is a story about growing up fast.
Tell them how we used to sneak off every time we were together.
About losing your innocence overnight.
In the bunkers, cattle cars, on the rooftop.
About forgetting the past. Avoiding the future.
How we thought every time was the last time.
Turning your will to live into a weapon.
Tell them
To survive.
Tell them how we learned the Catholic Mass, or little crosses around our necks so they wouldn't know we were Jews.
Tell how we were crowded 12 in a room with no plumbing, so we spent all day out on the streets.
Tell how there was no electricity, no coal, no telephone, no radio, no connection with the outside world.
This is the story of the master plan to wipe me, my family, my friends, and every other Jew off the face of this earth.
Tell about the whippings.
They had murdered 6 million before it was all over.
Starvation.
Over 1 million were kids.
The typhoid.
1 million.
The selections.
Kids
The deportations.
dead. And now, there's nobody left but me.
Two drunk SS officers came wandering into the ghetto looking for some fun. They picked out an old bearded Jew, surrounded him, spat on him, and with several well-aimed punches, knocked him into the gutter. "Tell us, you Jew bastard!" one of them politely asked. "Who caused the war?" The old man, who had learned a few things over the years, looked up and answered, "The Jews?" The SS officers laughed until they had to hold each other up, and the second one asked, "And who causes typhoid, syphilis, and every other filthy disease?" "The Jews," the old man answered again. But then he added, "And the taxi drivers." The German stopped, looking puzzled. "The taxi drivers? Why the taxi drivers?" The old man looked up and shrugged. "Why the Jews?"
The wall was 9 feet high, topped with barbed wire and glass. Every 100 feet, German soldiers stood guard with machine guns and dogs. Thousands of Jews from different cities were crammed into the ghetto, but only a select few with special permits were allowed out. Officially. A Jew had to wear an armband at all times, take off his cap and step into the gutter when a German passed, and could be arrested and tortured for offering bribes or making deals. Officially. The food ration in the ghetto was 250 calories a day. Any Jew caught on the Aryan side or trying to smuggle food was automatically shot. Every day, hundreds of kids took off their armbands, hopped over the wall, jumped the streetcars, made bribes, shopped in the Christian markets, and stuffed their boots, their pants, their shirts, their pockets, even their caps with barley, sugar, salami, anything. We were too hungry to be scared.
Nick, stop treating me like a baby. I'm 13 years old and perfectly capable of catching a silly little knapsack. Besides, ever since they closed the schools, there's nothing to do all day. I'm bored.
My sister Hella always wanted to help me. I never forced her. When she had first asked, I said no. It was bad enough I was already risking my life without risking her life too. But when Papa's business was confiscated, I decided to give Hella a chance. I needed her. Okay, you ready? Now. Come on, what was that?
That was impossible. No one could have caught that.
If you really think that's impossible, how do you expect to catch it off a moving streetcar? Ready? Come on, come on.
I'm sorry. Do it again.
You ready?
Yatsik, you did that on purpose. Do you have to throw it so hard?
If you think that's too hard, how do you expect to catch it when it's full of potatoes? Ready? Good job.
This'll really help, won't it? I mean, if I can catch the knapsack, you can bring over more food.
Yeah, exactly. Move back a little.
Do they still have movies on the Aryan side?
Sure.
And puppet shows in the Krasinski Gardens?
I don't know. I never get over there. Now, I'm going to fill this knapsack up with rocks. When you catch it, pull it close to your chest so you don't fall back.
I wish we had a park in the ghetto. I bet there are a lot of flowers in the Saxon Gardens right now. Tulips. I like tulips, don't you?
They're right.
After the war, I'd like to visit Holland. They have windmills there.
Unless they've all been bombed out.
All of them?
It's possible.
But the tulips, they'd still be there, wouldn't they?
I don't know. I never get over there.
But we learned in school that there are thousands of tulips all over Holland. How could the Germans kill every single flower? Jacek,
Huh?
next time you go, will you bring me back a flower? It doesn't have to be a tulip, it could be anything. Jacek,
Huh?
will you?
Sure. I mean, you're my partner, aren't you? Catch! We ran the operation for 3 months. It was perfect. Until one day, I was on the cart and I fell back on a lady who started screaming. The German soldier turned around and started shooting anywhere and everywhere. Within 3 minutes, Jews were bleeding and dying everywhere. Get out of here, come on! Run, damn it, run!
I heard shots, I got scared.
Where's the knapsack?
The knapsack, oh no.
She dropped it. After all of that, she dropped it.
Let's go back. Maybe we can still find it.
Sit down.
But if we go back right now.
I said, sit. This place is crawling with Germans, and you want to go back?
I'm sorry.
You want to carry it?
Sure.
I saved one. Eat it slow. I should have known this would happen. It's too dangerous. Damn German bastards. 10 Jews killed for nothing.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, look at this stuff. It won't last us more than a few days. We have to find another way. Come on, let's get out of here.
Walk out your front door, turn right, and when you reach the wall, climb over and take another right on Marszałkowska until Jerusalem-Mensky Boulevard. Then turn left, and after you cross the Vistula, face west and run. Just follow the sunset, and you can't get lost. Across Poland, into Germany, and out again. Through Holland, down through Belgium, and into France. As soon as you see the cliff, jump in and start swimming. And when you see the white cliffs of Dover, you can ease up a bit, but watch out for some rains. And when you finally touch the shore, your troubles are over. Mazel tov! You've just reached the nearest ally of occupied Warsaw.
I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. I believe in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord.
Come on, Mala, hurry up.
Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
We decided we're getting out. We're going. Do you have your crucifix?
I'm wearing it.
Feels funny, doesn't it? Like we're not really us anymore. How much money did you bring?
30 zlotys.
30? But we need 100 to pay that man.
Well, don't you have any?
I have 50, and you're supposed to have 50. What happened to the other 20?
I gave it to my mother.
What? Are you crazy?
Look, we're leaving the ghetto, and she's not. What did you expect me to do?
Not without 100 zlotys, we're not.
Look, Helena, she's my mother.
That man said not to show up without it. What if he gets angry? He can turn us over to the Gestapo.
She hasn't eaten in 3 days. She keeps giving all of the food to my brothers. I couldn't leave her without any money. Go ahead, be mad at me. I don't care. I'm not sorry. You can go ahead by yourself if you want. I'll just stay here.
It's too late for that. It's almost curfew.
So, let them catch me. I don't care.
Will you keep moving? It took me 2 months to make this contact, and I'm not just gonna throw it all away.
Okay, I'm sick and tired of this whole thing. Just look at this disgusting dress and these ratty old shoes and my hair. I'm dirty and I stink. I don't care anymore. I'm not going.
Good, Mala. Why don't you just throw yourself off the wall while you're at it? Save them the trouble.
This isn't going to work. Pretending we're Polish is a stupid idea.
It'll work if you stop complaining and listen.
Well, we don't have any money. That man isn't going to cross us over out of the goodness of his heart.
I know, but I have this.
What is it?
My mother's wedding ring. It's gold.
You're going to sell her wedding ring?
He said to stand on that roof and signal. He has a rope ladder from his attic.
But You've had this drink since I first met you in the ghetto.
This way.
But, Helena, that's all you have left to remember your mother by.
There he is.
He was just hanging there with his eyes wide open and this terrible expression on his face. I can still see it.
Try not to think about it.
He was so yellow and dried up. It didn't even look like him. Why did he do it, Jacek?
I don't know. I guess he couldn't take it anymore.
Stay with me until it's over. Promise me you'll stay.
You want to stay over at mine for a few days?
I don't know. My mama's all alone. She says I'm the man of the house now, but...
Yeah.
I don't feel like a man. I feel like a little kid. Oh, God, Jacek, my papa's dead.
Up your ass, you bastard! Who are you calling Jewish?
Jesus Christ, you son of a bitch. I'm just as Catholic as you are.
Holy Mother of Chesheva, me, a Jew?
Holy Ghost, I'll cut your throat.
I swear your eyes are blind.
Oh yeah? Well, tell it to the priest, you asshole.
Pig! Scumbag!
That night, I couldn't sleep. I stayed up and dreamt up of food. Sackloads of food. A line of kids carrying those sacks. Kids with guts. Kids who didn't have to talk with their hands. Kids who could spit in your face and swear by Jesus Christ. A group of kids that would follow me over the wall.
Piss off! Come on!
Kiss my toes.
Drop dead!
Alright, that's enough.
So, is this it? The four of us?
No, there's one more I didn't tell you guys about. You guys remember Sevik?
Do you mean the kid whose dad hung himself?
He doesn't have the guts for this.
Well, it's either this or begging in the streets.
There's 100 other guys who'd be better, Jacek.
I don't care. I want Sevik, guys. I'll keep out for him. Sevik, over here.
Am I late?
Oh, no, you're just on time. Sevik, this is Lutek, Yankele, Rudy.
Well, it's nice to meet
Hello.
you all. Very pleased to meet you. I have my father's watch in case we need to tell the time for curfew or anything. I also brought my notebook in case we need to write anything down.
Good. You're thinking ahead.
Are we waiting for anyone else?
Sorry, I had to wait until Mama took her nap.
What's she doing here?
Does everyone remember my sister Hella?
Hi, Hella.
I didn't know you had a sister.
What is this? A kindergarten?
Can we get on with it already? Let's talk about the plan.
Yeah. Everyone sit down, listen. Hurry up. It all takes place in the Jewish cemetery.
The cemetery?
No man's land. It's not a part of the Aryan side, but it's outside of the ghetto. I went to Sevik's father's funeral and saw how it all works. A German stands guard at the gate, counts all the mourners coming in, but he doesn't count them going out. And nobody checks. Everyone was crying and wailing. I went unnoticed. So I looked around.
Why didn't you hide and not go back?
They took a count, remember?
A car carries the casket coming into the funeral, but is empty going out. It's the perfect place to smuggle a hell of a lot of food.
Yeah, if you can figure out how to get the food on them.
And even if you could, where would you keep the stuff until after the burial?
And how do you get into the cemetery in the first place if you're not going to a funeral?
Who says we're not going?
What?
Guys, it's simple. We pick out a funeral procession and pretend we're mourners. That means wailing, crying, beating your chest, anything you can do to make them seem like you're a part of it.
Oi! Marcela!
But we bribed the Jewish policeman not to include us in the count.
How much do you want? 50? 60? All right, 70.
That night, we buy up all the food we can on the Aryan side and hop back over the wall.
Straight into the Christian cemetery, and from there, onto the Aryan side.
It's perfect. And then after that, we put all the food back into the casket and walk straight back into the ghetto.
It's brilliant.
Sounds good to me.
There are hundreds of funerals a day. Let's go.
Okay, not so fast. There's still a few things we need to work out. We could split it among us evenly, Or we could sell some of it and divide it among us. Helen could be the good bookkeeper.
Math is my best subject.
Wait, I don't understand one thing. You mean we have to spend the entire night in the cemetery? Where?
There's a place near the wall we can hide food there too.
Yeah, good.
You mean sleep with the dead people?
What are you, scared?
No one said anything about being scared. I just wanted to make sure of a few things for the plan, you know?
It's perfect timing for me, actually. My father just kicked me out. He found out I was doing a little bit of smuggling of my own.
Your dad kicked you out for that? Shit, my dad would have kicked me out for not smuggling.
Well, there's motorcycle patrols going up and down the graveyard. We could get shot.
We could get shot anyway for doing nothing.
Yeah, but the picture's right, you guys. Watch it. Understand? You can get your ass burned.
Yeah, we don't have accents and could pass as Polish. If anybody asks, you swear your head off. If that doesn't work,
bribe. And watch out, your Jewish snaz will give you away.
Hey, there's a girl here.
Well, she shouldn't be.
And if you can't make a run for it, there's only one way left. This.
Vegas mirror, is that a Luftwaffe?
You'll all get one. And if you don't know how to use it, you'll learn.
That's what I want.
Look at that blade. It's beautiful.
My very own Luftwaffe? You swear you'll get me one.
Can I see it?
When the war first began, jokes could be heard all over the country. The illustrious Herr Hitler was furious and ordered that whoever was responsible for these jokes be brought to him personally. A few weeks later, a meek, mild-mannered Jew was brought before him. "What is your name, Jew?" he asked. "Rubenstein," he answered. "Tell me, Rubenstein, are you responsible for the joke about me and the pig?" "Yes." "What about the joke that whenever I die, it will be a Jewish holiday?" "Yes, that one's mine." "And the one where I'm saved from drowning, and when I offer the Jew who saved me a reward, his request is that I don't tell anyone his name?" "That one is also mine." At this, the Fuhrer turned red in the face. "How dare you," he roared. "Don't you know who I am? I am Adolf Hitler, leader of the Third Reich, which is destined to last 1,000 years. "Now, just a moment," said the Jew. "That joke I had nothing to do with."
Here's the house, Romeo. Go ahead.
I see it. Don't push.
It's a funeral at 4 o'clock. You better hurry up.
Yeah, I know the schedule.
Then what are you waiting for?
Maybe I'm waiting for you to get out of here.
Why?
I don't like witnesses.
All right. Tell you what. I'll go wait over there, and if she answers the door, then I'll leave.
All right. Come on.
Yes?
Excuse me, sir. Does Helena Goldman live here?
Who?
Helena Goldman. She's brunette, about 15 years old. Miss Greenglass told me she was actually staying here with a friend.
No. No young girls live here.
Bastard.
Why don't you just forget about her? There are plenty of other girls in Warsaw.
She's not like other girls.
How different can she be? She may be beautiful and charming and elegant.
She's the greatest piano player you ever heard.
Yeah?
She won a 4-year scholarship to the conservatory.
Talented.
She composed a whole sonata when she was 12.
But, is she pretty?
Is she pretty? Of course she's pretty.
I mean, that's what you say, but all we have is your word for it here, man. And I've been to 5 different houses, and I don't even know what she looks like.
Well, that's too bad.
Now, if you had a picture or something,
That'd be cool, but I don't. So, come on, let's get out of here.
What about the picture in your pocket, Yatsik?
Who told you about that?
Rudy.
And who told him?
Hella.
Of course she did. Ah, that little sneak.
Come on. She wished Rudy would carry a picture of her in his pocket.
Yeah, but it's none of her business. It's none of anybody's business.
What are you getting so mad about?
Why didn't Miss Greenglass say she was here if she wasn't? Does she think I have time to just run all over the ghetto chasing rumors?
Calm down. You'll find her.
Yeah, sure I will. And you know what? She won't even remember who I am.
Come on, Yatsik. Yes, she will.
Why would she? The conservatory's bombed, all the pianos confiscated, the Jews kicked out of the symphony. Why should she be the same?
You are.
Yeah.
Not bad. Don't worry. If you can find your way in and out of this ghetto, you can find Helena Goldman.
Pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
That was the W Improv line.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Are you sure you want to do this?
we have to eat, don't we?
Well, what about your accent? You look all right, but the moment you open your mouth.
I swear by Christ, Holy Mother of Czestochowa, do you think I'm some godless Jew parasite? Wounded Christ, I just want to buy my vegetables and go home.
Well, what about your papers? What if they ask you about your papers?
My papers? Do you think every time I step out of the house I take my papers? It'll be all right. Nobody even noticed us at church.
Church is different. People only look at the priest there. Besides, there are no Germans in church.
There are Germans everywhere, but we've been lucky.
So far.
Our landlady knows we're Jewish, and she's helping us out. To me, that's a sign that there are still decent people out in this world. And with their help, we'll get through this.
You really think so?
I'm positive. Do you have the basket?
Here. I feel terrible you have to do all the shopping.
It's all right.
But I know if I had to go into the market and see all of those soldiers and Jew hunters staring straight at me.
They stare at me, I stare back.
I wonder if my mother and brothers have anything to eat.
I've been thinking about my mother too. Will you make my braids? I remember I used to make her so mad. She used to go into the bedroom, lock the door, and cry. Like that time I stole money out of her purse to go to the movies with Yatsik. Or that time I skipped piano lessons to go to Saxon Gardens.
To see Yatsik?
Why not? He was my boyfriend. Did I ever show you his picture?
Only 50 times.
He had the most beautiful voice and was very serious about music. I'd never met a boy before who liked classical music so much and was still so handsome.
I've never had a boyfriend.
He's probably forgotten me.
Helena, what if you get caught? They'll kill you if they find out you're Jewish. They'll hang you like those people in the ghettos, and they rape girls.
Why do you keep bringing this up? What do you want me to say?
I'm sorry. I'm so scared all the time.
I know. I better get out. Jesus Christ, girl, if I can tell you one thing I know for sure.
What's that?
It's the curse of God to be born a Jew.
Come on. Okay, Lutik and Yankala, you get potatoes and onions.
And salami.
Only if there's time. There's a guy in progress selling food out of his basement. Here's the address. Sevik and I will be on flour. Rudy?
Sugar. I know where to go.
Good. Be back before curfew. No later than 7:45. Be careful, guys. Come on, let's go.
Praga, shit, that's 5 miles from me.
Come on, we better get going. What's the address?
It's, 251 boy, no. Babe. I can't make it out.
Bialystoyka. 251 Bialystoyka.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but wait. Jacek's handwriting.
It's printed in block letters.
What's block letters?
You can't read, can you?
I can read.
Didn't you go to school?
Yeah, I went to school. I finished the 5th grade. Hey, stop looking at me like I'll smash you in your mouth.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I had to go to work, rich boy. Me and my dad, we support my mom and my 4 sisters. Shit, there's 2 people coming, come on. There's 2 of them, and they're talking. We'll have to wait till they leave, okay?
What did you and your father used to do?
He was a porter at the train station. I used to get him luggage. He used to carry luggage, and I'd carry something smaller. I'm taking care of the family till he gets home.
What's he doing now?
He was picked up for forced labor about 6 months ago. I figured he should be back any day now, but they're probably keeping him longer because he's such a good worker.
That's good.
He'd beat the crap out of me if I didn't. I bet you never got a beating in your life, huh?
You're right. My parents use a silent treatment. They give me these long, mournful looks of reproach that told me I was ruining their lives and breaking their hearts.
No shit.
It was really effective, actually. I couldn't get a bad grade, have an opposite opinion, or associate with the wrong kind of people. They definitely wouldn't approve of you.
Yeah? Well, I definitely disapprove of them.
Our biggest fight was when I told them I didn't want to go into Father's business. They didn't talk to me for a whole week.
Wait. You don't want to be a rich businessman?
No, I want to be the conductor of an orchestra.
You don't mean the guy who waves the stick around, do you? Do they even get paid a lot?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Of course. Only a rich kid would say that. They're gone. Come on, let's go. You play any soccer?
Nope. Never had the time to learn.
Yeah? Well, maybe I can teach you.
And maybe I can teach you to read. We could trade.
Maybe. But personally, I think soccer is a lot more useful. Come on.
Three prisoners in a labor camp, a Pole, a Czech, and a Jew, were caught trying to escape and sentenced to death. Each was granted one last wish. I want my ashes scattered over the grave of Podolsky, said the Pole. I want my ashes scattered over the grave of Masaryk, said the Czech. And I, said the Jew, want my ashes scattered over the grave of Adolf Hitler. But that's impossible, he was told. Hitler isn't dead yet. Fine, said the Jew. I'll wait.
Where's my glasses? bathroom.
Ooh! Quit moving around.
Oi, Savik! Oi, Savik!
Jacek,
Huh?
did you hear anything?
Like what?
Voices.
It's the wind. Go back to bed.
Oi, Savik! This is the Razmir Rebbe. I'm buried right underneath you. Oi, Savik! Oi, Savik! Get your ass out of my face!
Very funny. I knew it was you guys all along.
Oh my god.
Move closer, you guys. It's cold.
Yeah, move in like bookends. Me and Rudy and Septic and Lutek.
What about me?
You and the Razmir Rebbe.
Come on, you guys, it's cold. Excuse me. Shit.
What?
I gotta take a piss.
Oh, Uncle, watch out.
You almost stepped on my hand.
It's not my fault. I drink too much vodka.
You know my father says a prayer every time he does that?
My father's so high class. I'm not even sure he does it at all.
Send him to my father. I'll send him a prayer book that explains everything.
I'm back.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Excuse me, buddy. Now I'm kind of hungry. Salami?
Forget it. I don't know what sack it's in, and I'm not looking through all of those just for you.
Who asked you? My emergency salami. And I got pickles too.
He's a walking delicatessen.
What was that?
Are we good?
You guys good?
Yeah.
Let's see.
You know, my father isn't buried in this cemetery.
He should have been. You know, it's not really suicide when they drive you to it.
He always wore his uniform, even after he was kicked out of the army. I still have his medals. I was thinking I could write a book about him, you know, like a biography, because he really was a hero.
Do you say cottage for him?
How can I? No prayer books.
Maybe you're better off.
You're sure not like you used to be.
What is? I'll take a piece of salami.
Isn't it bad luck if you stop being acid or something?
Very bad luck. Nobody beats you up anymore or uses you for target practice.
What does your father think about you?
If it's not in the Talmud, my father doesn't think about it. There's 14 of us in the apartment now. He goes down to the basement with a candle and spends the whole day studying by himself. My mother even brings him his meals.
But he eats what you bring him? He doesn't care that you're a smuggler?
He probably doesn't even know. He probably thinks it's manna from heaven.
Then you're lucky.
Real lucky. When I think of all the years I wasted believing that stuff.
Hey, it's not all bad, Rudy. You know it.
I don't know what I know.
All the food, the holidays, the music. Remember the choir at the Tomatsky? Man, I used to love that place.
Didn't you hear? They turned the Tomatsky synagogue into a stable.
What?
I heard that too. I don't have the guts to go and check it out, though.
I can't believe it. That place was like a palace.
A very high-class stable. SS horses only.
But they could have used it for anything. Concerts, rallies, even a church. Why didn't you tell me?
How much good news can you take?
A stable. That place had stained glass windows and marble floors. What do you think they did with them, Bima?
Probably chopped it up for firewood.
And the Taurus?
I don't know.
Sure you do. It's standard procedure. They roll it open in the street and make the rabbi shit.
Shut up!
Whoa, come on, you guys. Calm down.
Don't blame me.
You don't have to be so crude.
Pardon me. You better go run home to your mama before you faint.
Hey!
Hey,
Hey, knock it off.
come on. He didn't mean nothing. Calm down. Shake his hand.
Come on, guys.
What time is it?
6:30. You want the watch?
No, thanks.
I've never heard a choir before. What's it sound like?
Exactly like it does on the radio.
I've actually never had a radio. What songs did you guys sing?
It was mostly prayers and classical stuff. There were 60 of us, and it was beautiful. We used to all practice for Yom Kippur. Kol Nidre was the big holiday. Oh my gosh, we would rehearse for months.
Serenading the dead?
Markowski, you stink!
It's nice to see you boys spending time in cultural pursuits. Only it's damn stupid when our dear Deutsche friends could be here at any time. What's the matter with you? I could hear you all from 50 meters away.
It's too early for Germans. Why should they open the cemetery when they get their buddies, the Jewish police, to do it for them?
I'll ignore that remark. Smuggler hoodlums are in no position to criticize.
Well, you don't seem to have a problem doing business with these smuggler hoodlums.
I'll do business with anyone who wants to. I'm gonna live through this war. How many bags do you have?
We got 8.
I'll take 4.
4?
4? We said 2.
You can't just raise the price like that.
If you want to use the cemetery, you'll pay whatever price I say, and you won't argue.
You son of a bitch!
The Germans expect twice as much as last time. What do you expect me to do? I have a wife and 2 children.
Well, then we'll pay you tomorrow. We need all 6 today.
Don't try anything funny, Jacek. Remember, without me, you're dead. Just another body to say Kaddish over.
Don't worry. You'll get your food. Even if my mama has to go hungry.
Don't blame me for your mama. Blame them.
I blame you both. You think you're so special because they gave you this job, Markowski, but when all the Jews are dead and there's no one left to guard, who do you think they're gonna go after next?
You little punk. That's the gratitude I get for helping you feed your families?
Your family eats twice as much as mine ever does.
You want gratitude? Go to Berlin. Let Hitler shake your hand.
You probably speak German better than Polish by now, huh?
That's why I'll be around when the worms are crawling on your bones. The end to every smuggler is a bullet, and you'll all get yours, sooner or later.
You'll get yours too, Markowski.
If I were you, I wouldn't come back without that food.
I hope you choke on it.
Just pull the curtain on the choir. The first funeral's in an hour.
We paid the bribe and made our peace with Markowski, and soon we had enough food for ourselves, our families, and even a little extra to sell on the side. Rumors had it that Germany had struck Russia. Rumors told terrible stories of what was happening to Jews in other countries. But for us, only death by starvation was real, and for the time being, we had more than enough food. For a while, it really seemed like we were going to make it. Scenic! Scenic, come on! Let's go over the wall, come on! Scenic, you first, let's go! Come on! Get up!
They're right behind us, Rudy!
Come on! Lutek, you're next! Come on! You good? Let's go, Yonkele.
Go, come on.
Yonkele.
Go!
Stop messing around.
Don't worry, I got him. Go!
You're next. Let's go, Yonkele. Oh! Yonkele? Yonkele!
How the hell did they know I was near that wall? I was almost over when they hit me. It wasn't bad, it was just in my arm. When I fell down, I started running. I reached a chestnut tree and I started climbing. I figured I could climb higher than those lousy bullets, but that stinking arm, it slowed me down and they caught up. There were 5 of those bastards. If there were 2, I could have taken them with my bare hands. When I fell out of the tree, they started kicking me, but I didn't really feel it. It was the dogs I hated the most. With their dog smell, their dog teeth, made me sick. Damn it, I didn't die for another 5 minutes. Shit, if my dad had been there, they wouldn't have had a chance.
Winston Churchill invited the great sage, the Rabbi of Ger, to come and advise him how to bring about Germany's downfall. The rabbi thought and finally answered. There are 2 possible ways to bring about Germany's downfall. One involving natural means, and the other involving supernatural means. The natural means would be if 1,000,000 angels with flaming swords descended upon Germany and destroyed it. The supernatural means would be if 1,000,000 Englishmen parachuted down onto Germany and destroyed it.
Alina, thank God.
What's the matter?
It's the landlady. She's throwing us out.
What?
She said it's getting too dangerous. She's not going to risk her life for a couple of Jews. What are we going to do?
I don't know. We'll have to move.
Where?
I don't know, Mala.
No one's going to take us in. I know it. As soon as they find out we don't have papers,
Stop it.
We're going to get caught. I know it. We're going to get arrested and then they'll torture us and shoot us. Oh my God, Helena, we're going to die.
Shut your mouth. Don't you say that. Don't you ever say that. We're not going to die. Do you understand? We're going to make it. They're not going to catch us. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yes.
We can't let this stop us. We have to keep going.
The Germans are looking for us everywhere.
I don't care. I'd rather die from a bullet than starve to death.
What about you, Sevik?
Yonkele, he would want us to keep going.
Hella?
I don't know. I'm scared, Yatsik.
We're all scared. They're the strongest army in the world. They have everything and we have nothing. That's why we have to keep going. That's why we have to fight. Because if we give up, they win. I heard it's British. Apparently they're launching a major offensive.
Hitler? What about him? Choked on a fishbone at a banquet in Berlin.
I heard the Red Cross is coming to Warsaw.
With food packages.
And medicine.
It's only a matter of time.
The war's almost over.
It'll end any day now.
Maybe only a couple of months.
That's what I heard.
We've been through the worst.
You've been listening to RSJF, radio station Jewish Fantasy. If you don't like our news, it's your own fault. Instead of asking us, you should make up your own.
Is everybody here? Come on. Okay. This apartment on the near side is one of the few places that has a straight look into an attic in the ghetto. And this drain pipe can be cut and attached so it goes from here straight through the window. For 2,000 zlotys a day, Stash is going to let us use this setup.
Can we trust him?
Can we trust anybody? That's a risk we're going to have to take. Sevik and I will do the shopping while you guys wait here. On my mark, you guys will start pouring the sex at the mouth of the pipe.
When do we start?
Tomorrow. Make sure you guys sleep all day, because we're going to be up all night. This isn't some small town like before. This time, we're going to feed the whole ghetto.
You don't have to do it.
I don't mind.
I feel very strange about this.
Rudy, the lining of your jacket's ripped to shreds. Now take it off. What are you thinking?
Nothing.
Yes, you are. I can feel your brain working. What? Come on, tell me.
I was just wondering how someone like you can exist. Someone so good in the midst of so much evil.
Not that good.
Yes, you are. You just don't know. You have no idea what people are really like.
Ouch!
What happened?
I pricked myself.
Hello, you really don't have to. You know, I've never had a girlfriend before.
Really?
And if it wasn't for this war, I never would have either.
Why not?
Because Hasidic boys don't have girlfriends. They get married when they're 18 to someone their parents pick out for them.
But what if you don't like her?
Doesn't matter. You're stuck with her for the rest of your life, and she's stuck with you.
That's horrible.
I don't know. It might not be so bad. What if my parents picked you?
Don't I have anything to say about that?
Not a word. It's all up to your father. My father would pay him a formal visit, and he would say, "Sir, it has come to my attention that you have a fine Jewish daughter named Hella, who is as yet unmarried. I have learned that she is healthy, strong, and not too bad looking."
Thanks a lot. It sounds like you're describing a horse.
Now, I myself, dear sir, have a son. Rudy, we call him. A fine boy. Brilliant, handsome, with a truly noble character.
You don't say. He almost sounds too good to be true.
A prince, dear sir. An angel, the crown jewel of the family tree. And by a piece of marvelous good fortune, he too is unmarried.
My goodness, what a coincidence.
Now, sir, the very first mitzvah in the Torah, the first commandment God gave to Adam, was Peru or Vu, go forth and multiply. Therefore, I propose that we unite our children under the huppah as soon as possible, so they can be good Jews and fulfill God's wishes by going forth and multiplying again and again and again.
And my father would answer, "Thank you for the kind offer, but I must consult with Hella first, because after all, it is 1942 and I am a modern man. I would never force my daughter to marry anyone she didn't love."
And when he consulted his daughter, what would she reply?
Well, I have a feeling she'd probably say yes.
I was hoping she would.
Leah?
You know, when my...
Not so loud.
Tired.
Just a little further.
But we've been walking for hours.
Helena?
It's really you.
I can't believe it. I've been looking for you everywhere. How long have you been on the Aryan side?
Almost a year. This is my friend Mala. Mala, this is Yatsik.
Hi, this is Sevik. Do you live in this neighborhood?
We used to, but our landlady just kicked us out.
Where are you staying now?
Nowhere, we're out on the streets.
You think Frantic would take him?
For the right price.
I think I have a place for you guys. It belongs to a guy we do business with.
But we don't have any papers.
I'll get you papers, don't worry.
We don't have any money either.
Don't worry about it. I'll get you guys that. Come on, it's not safe here.
You got so tall.
You got even prettier.
Where do you live?
I'm still at home, but we're over here 2 or 3 times a week. There's a gang of us. We smuggle food into the ghetto.
You do? That's wonderful.
We bring in fruit, vegetables, even milk for the kids.
As soon as we get settled, I'll help you. You give me a list of what you need, and I'll go into the markets.
I can't let you do that.
Why not? I've done it 100 times. No one stopped me yet.
It's way too dangerous, Helena.
So? Isn't it the same for you?
I'm a boy.
No, you're not. You're not a boy, and I'm not a girl. We're Jews.
Frantic. These are my friends. They really need a place to stay.
Jacek, I have no room.
They could live in the attic.
I'd like to help, but it's too dangerous.
Look at them. They look like 2 typical Polish girls. You could say that they're your cousins from the countryside or kitchen maids. They can cook and clean. Right, girls?
Absolutely.
We won't be any trouble, really.
I'm sorry, but I just can't take that chance.
I'll pay you 1,000 zlotys a week.
Jacek, please. I have a family. If the Gestapo finds out...
2,000.
Do you boys really think I'd give up my family and children for 2,000 zlotys?
4,000.
Fine.
Are you really so rich?
No, I just spent our week's allowance on food. But my mom must have some food or some jewelry left over we can sell.
They'll need beds and some blankets.
I'll talk to Frantic's wife about that. Stick together. Don't go out more than once a week, you two.
In the ghetto, did you ever come across a Mrs. Perkel? Or a Daniel? Or Joseph Perkel?
Daniel or Joseph? No, sorry.
If you have an address, I can look for them.
You would do that for me?
Sure, why not? Why don't I just write it down and you write a little note saying that you're all right?
Oh, thank you. I have a pencil in my basket.
You have no idea how much that kid has changed.
So have you.
You think so?
You're so grown up. No, so confident. So tough.
Well, I mean, you've got to be or you won't make it. And even then, the chances are low. My friend Yankele.
I remember Yankele. How is he?
He was killed during one of our smuggling operations.
I think my parents were killed too.
What happened?
One day, the German troops showed up and arrested them. For a while, I thought they were working in a work camp, but it's been too long.
Hey, what's that?
It's a keyboard I made out of a box. I colored in all the black keys with charcoal. And every night before I go to bed, I practice for 45 minutes.
Wow.
How's your voice? Do you ever sing anymore?
There's not much to sing about, really.
Yeah.
Hey, will you play for me? I always love to watch you play.
Mrs. Esther Perkel, 524 Niska. Hey, I live down the street on Percorna.
You do?
Yeah, if you lived in the ghetto, we've been neighbors. Not that you'd ever want to live in the ghetto.
Has it gotten much worse?
Well, there's a lot more people sick, and there's no medicine, of course. People are cold and hungry and sick, but we're doing well at the moment, but you never know how long that will last.
Sometimes I feel so guilty for leaving my mother.
Did she want you to go?
Oh, she insisted.
Then you probably did the right thing. She probably thanks God every night that you're out there.
Books. Do you have any books at home?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Do you think, if it's not too much trouble, if you're in the neighborhood, I don't want you to go out of your way.
Who's your favorite author?
Tolstoy.
Well, I'll give you Anna Karenina.
Oh, thank you.
Sevik, we've got to move. I'll talk to Frantic's wife about some pillows and blankets. It was really good to see you again, Helena.
You'll be back, won't you?
The whole German army couldn't keep me away.
I'll be back too.
Oh, goodbye.
Bye. Be careful.
Bye. Come on, Sevik.
Where are they? They should have been here by now.
Relax. Something probably came up. You know Yatsik.
They had to stop and pay off Stash, remember?
Well, they better hurry. It's almost curfew.
Let's see how we did this week. Where's my book?
I never liked Stash. Markowski's a crook, but at least he's one of us. Stash could spill the whole operation to the Gestapo for a reward.
So, we pay him more. Either way, he's getting rich off that drain pipe.
Last week we fed 255 people. Look, I have all their names. I'm saving them to show my children.
This girl would save the wall if she could fit it into her scrapbook.
What's wrong with it? I want to remember.
You don't think you'll remember the ghetto without souvenirs?
Not every detail. Anyway, how else will people in the future ever know what happened?
What makes you think they'll want to know? What makes you think you'll want to know? I don't. As soon as this war is over, I'm going to do everything I can to forget it ever happened.
Like what?
Like learning to fly. I'm going to be a pilot and live in the sky, far away from the whole world.
You'd have to come down sometime.
Only to visit you.
England is far enough for me. Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, the British Museum. Every afternoon at 4 o'clock, they sit down and have tea. They eat these things called crumpets and act like civilized human beings.
I want a camera. After the war, I'm going to get a job after school no matter what Mama says, and I'm going to save up and get one. The Germans keep taking pictures and making movies, and we don't have anything. I wish I had a picture of every one of us right now.
I don't like it. They're late and it's dark. There's usually a candle of something.
Don't you see anyone?
Not Stash, not his wife. We need a sign, a signal, in case something goes wrong.
A signal? A gun would be more useful.
You know how to shoot a gun?
What's to know? You just point and pull the trigger.
There's a bit more to it than that, Rudy.
So, I'll figure it out. If only I learned that instead of the Talmud. Yesterday, they beat at my father so bad, he could barely crawl. I told him, Tate, just shave your beard. It just provokes those bastards. But God forbid he should touch a razor to his face.
He has a right. It's what he believes in.
Don't give me that. It's what he hides in.
That's not fair, Rudy. Lots of people still believe in God.
And you, little sister, what do you believe?
Don't be sarcastic.
I'm not. I want to know.
I guess I still believe too. Every night I say a prayer and ask God to watch over Mama and Papa and the rest of us, and so far we've been pretty lucky. I got typhoid and I got better, didn't I? And we're not starving and nobody's been arrested. Even though a lot of terrible things have happened, I still think God cares.
What about Yankele? Did he care about him?
I don't know.
I'd like to believe. I always did before. It'd make things a whole lot easier if I thought maybe all this was happening for a reason. But every time I hear the Germans saying that God is on their side.
Whose side does it look like he's on?
Well, now that the Americans are in the war.
I'm talking about us, the Yids, the swine, the dirty Jews.
How are we supposed to know? What are we supposed to do? Give up? Say there's no hope? Let the Germans get away with everything?
Sevik's dead. Let's get out of here.
I was brave, wasn't I? I tried not to be scared, but I couldn't help it when I saw that German's gun. I knew they wouldn't believe we were Catholic. They knew, somebody told, and it was all over. I couldn't run as fast as you, but I was doing well into the roof, wasn't I? And when you said jump, I jumped. But I knew I was going to break my leg. I just knew. You should have left me there. How could you ever think that you could drag me down? I could hear their footsteps behind us and the bullets. They must have shot me 20 times. It hurt like hell, but I didn't cry, did I?
When we went back to Stashes, the whole place was boarded up. The Germans had caught wind of the operation and sent the whole family to Auschwitz. We were hungry again.
I've been so worried.
It's getting harder to get out of the ghetto. Where's Mala?
Upstairs. She'll be gone for an hour.
Did you get to the marketplace?
Yes, but there wasn't much. I bought you turnips, carrots, and a sack of potatoes.
It's better than nothing. Did you get enough for yourselves?
Don't worry, we're fine. But I promise you, after this war, I'm gonna eat nothing but cakes and carrots and fresh strawberries for an entire year.
Not me. I'm gonna have roast turkey with stuffing and gravy and chopped liver and scrambled eggs and matzo balls and orange juice.
Stop it, you're torturing me. Oh, Yatsik, do you think we'll ever have a normal life again?
I don't know. I hope so.
The only time I feel alive is when I'm with you. But every time you leave, I'm afraid you'll never come back.
I know. I'm scared too.
Yeah, but you're not the one stuck in this room day after day, night after night. I feel like I've been buried alive and this is my tomb.
All right, Helena, it's better than our real tomb.
Yatsik, I want to go back to the ghetto.
No.
I'm sick and tired of it. So is Mala. We want to be with Jews, and I want to be with you.
I said no. Don't even think about it.
I can't stand the isolation. I'm falling apart. Lately, when I go into the markets, I start shaking from the strain of trying to act normal.
Hold it in. The only thing that could ever give you away is your nerves. You look like a typical Polish girl.
But I'm not.
Do you know how many people would give away their right arm to be in your situation? Helena, the ghetto is void of like starvation and typhoid. There are dead bodies in the streets.
Okay, forget it.
Look, the answer is not for you to come back to the ghetto. I should really get out.
How many times have I heard that before?
I mean it. I'll find you and Mala a safe house in the countryside. Me and Hella can come join you.
What about your parents? Are you really going to leave your parents?
Yeah?
Your mother.
She'll get used to it. I can come back once a week to bring her food.
What about your grandmother?
Okay. 1 day a week for my grandmother, and 1 day for her.
And your aunts and uncles, and Rudy and Lutek. You're never going to leave. Why do you even say it? The only way we'll ever be together is if you bring me.
I said no!
You don't care about me. That's all. Everyone else is more important. I'm so lonely. I'm so alone.
No, Helena, please. You are important. Maybe the most important. That's why I want you to be safe. I want you to survive.
When will this war be over?
Helena stayed on the Aryan side, and I stayed in the ghetto. She was right. I couldn't just leave my friends and family. We looked everywhere for another way to smuggle, but food was scarce, and the Germans were getting tighter and tighter every day. It was July 1942, and just when things were at their lowest, they got worse.
All Warsaw Jews, regardless of age or sex, are to be resettled in the East.
Resettled? Where?
You will be sent to the Ukraine. There will be work and food.
The Ukraine? Resettled in the what's in the Ukraine? What kind of work?
You may take up to 15 kilos of personal property and provisions for 3 days. Anyone who volunteers for the first transports will be given 5 kilos of bread, jam, and sugar.
Bread? You're giving away bread? Who knows? Maybe we should go. Maybe it's a change for the better. What could be worse than the ghetto?
Anyone trying to leave the ghetto will automatically be shot.
Guys, the whole ghetto's surrounded. Hundreds of Germans everywhere.
The station is filled with trains, cattle cars.
Does that sound safe to you?
What choice do we have? You know if we stay in the ghetto, we'll die anyway.
They're offering you half of the Ukraine with work and food. Isn't that good enough for you?
It's a lie. Don't believe him.
And even if we don't believe, what should we do?
Resist! Hide!
Hide? Where?
Anywhere. We'll help you.
Why should they starve and torture us here just to send us someplace better? Wherever they want to send you, it's worse than the ghetto.
Don't listen to him. They're only asking for 6,000 of you a day. You can send those who are starving and still save the core of the ghetto. This is a war. You have to sacrifice something.
We've sacrificed enough. It's time to fight.
Fight? Who knows how to fight?
It's time we learned.
Listen to me. Lock your doors. Hide in your basements. Whatever you do, don't get on those trains.
It's useless to hide. The Germans require 6,000 of you a day. And if you won't come peacefully, the Germans will come and get you.
You'll have to find us first, you traitor. Hide, do you hear me? Hide! Hide!
Don't get on the train!
Don't get on the train.
Don't get on the train!
Hide.
Let's go, hide! Hide, Lutek, hide!
Yatsik, where are you?
Hella, over here. Hella. Are you okay? Where's Mother and Papa?
I don't know. Soldiers are moving block by block, breaking down doors and whipping people into the street. I lost them.
It's okay. We'll find them later. For now, I'm getting you to the sewing factory. They're sparing anyone who has a sewing machine.
But all the sewing machines were confiscated.
Not all. I buried ours in the backyard. Come on.
They kicked in the door and started pushing us down the stairs. We didn't even have time to get our coats. When we got outside, the street was full of people from every building on the block. There were SS troops and Ukrainian guards with machine guns and dogs all over the place. People were crying and begging, but my father, he didn't even look up. He'd put on his talis and was praying right in the middle of that hellhole. I couldn't believe it. The Germans are whipping and pushing us towards the depot, and he's praying Shema Yisrael. My mother was crying and holding on to me, and I didn't know what to do. I kept looking for a way out. And then I noticed that the cattle cars are only guarded on one side, and there's a chance to escape. So I tell him, Tate, let's try to escape. I can see a way out. But he says, no, my son. This is God's will. Only the Messiah can change anything. Can you believe it? It's death, it's the end, and he's still waiting.
A young woman was dragged off to the train with her little son. As they pushed her towards the cattle cars, an SS officer tried to separate her from her child. She had begged the German not to, until finally he told her if she could guess which one of his eyes was made of glass, he would grant her request. The woman stared for a moment and guessed the left eye. She was correct and allowed to keep her son. Later, someone had asked her, how had she known to choose the left eye? It was easy, she answered. The left eye had a more human look.
Helena, they're only rumors.
German troops, all those trains, what else can it be?
Well, how can they deport the whole ghetto?
He should have contacted us by now. It's never been this long. Mala, I'm really worried.
Helena, you know Yatsik. He'll be all right.
I hate this waiting. Oh, Yatsik, where are you?
The deportations ended in September 1942 on Rosh Hashanah. From 500,000, only 65,000 Jews remained. The teenagers and the young adults, the young and the very old, the very radical and very violent, the very sick and weak, the very hopeful, the peaceful, had all merely disappeared.
I don't believe it. It's not possible.
It's true, Lutek.
It's a rumor. It has to be a rumor. You know how rumors spread in the ghetto.
There are eyewitness accounts.
But we got postcards from our relatives in work camps.
They were forced to write them before they were gassed.
Oh my God. My God.
How could they do that? How could anybody do that?
When you look back on the last 3 months, it really seems like we had a choice. To cooperate or not, to move into the ghetto or not, to go along with each inhumane regulation or not. Every day we've hoped for a German defeat. We thought things couldn't get any worse. The deportations just ended that illusion. Guys, we are cut off from the world. 2,000 kilometers from our nearest Allied front. 100 kilometers from the ashes of our families. We now know that the only truth is Treblinka. We now know that we have to fight like men and women of honor, with guns in our hands.
Mom was really worried. She can't stop crying. She's nervous. I told her she can take her chances, but the odds are against her. Have you contacted Hella yet?
Rudy and Lutek are picking her up.
I can't wait to meet them. I feel like I've known them forever.
About that, look, Helena, maybe you should stay.
Jacek, we've already decided.
I know, but maybe we decided wrong.
I'm going back, and we're going to be together.
Helena, we're living in bunkers. The only food and water we have is what we stored underground. We're smuggling in guns and explosives.
Good.
You can shoot people.
People know. Nazis, yes.
Helena, the chances of surviving in the ghetto are...
My chances are the same as yours.
Helena, please, try to be rational.
Rational? The whole world's insane, and you want to be rational? I want out of here. Do you understand? I want out. I'm sick of being scared and ashamed. I'm sick of wearing this cross around my neck as if it gives me permission to live. I'm a Jew, and I'm going to be proud of it. I'm going to hold my head up. If that means fighting, I'll fight. If that means dying, I'll die.
Helena, I'm ready.
Then let's get out of here.
Well,
We were too late.
what do you mean you were too late? Tell me.
Last week, they raided the sewing factory night shift and marched all the girls to the trains.
They sent Hella to Treblinka?
No, she made a run for it.
And?
She was shot down.
Good. Good for her.
Good for her.
She fought back. She tried to escape. She didn't walk like a lamb to the slaughter into a cattle car.
A person can live in a cattle car.
Maybe, but no one can live in a gas chamber.
Who knows? She was young. She was strong. Maybe they would have given her work.
Work? God damn it, Lutek! Haven't you learned anything yet? They're not gonna let us live. Those bastards. I hate them. I hate them. I'll smash their heads in. You did good, Ella. You did good, and I'm proud of you. You hear me? I'm proud of you. Bravo! Bravo!
Where's Hella? What happened to Hella?
I missed you a lot. I kept wondering what you were doing and if you, Rudy, and Lutek were still together. Every day I'd sit in the factory and wish that you'd come to get me. I could see the lines marching to the depot from my window, but I knew you wouldn't get caught. Remember when it was just you, me, and the knapsack from the trolley? I guess I was the first member of your gang, wasn't I? We fed a whole lot of people, and I helped. It was the best time of my whole life. I was really scared when they came in the middle of the night and made the selection, but I knew I couldn't get on those trains. I told the other girls about Treblinka. Some of them didn't even know. I figured if 10 or 12 of us made a run for it, some of us would get away. I never thought I'd get hit. I was sure that even if they shot all the others, I'd get away. I thought I was going to grow up and marry Rudy. And we would go to Holland for our honeymoon to see the windmills, remember? And the tulips, if there were any left.
The Germans are coming back to finish the job. They caught us unprepared the first time, but this time, we're ready. Lutek, what's the weapon status?
We've been allotted guns, hand grenades, and a few Molotov cocktail explosives. We have a limited number of bullets for target practice. Our station is there on Marinowska Square.
What's the bunker situation?
We've got enough supplies to last us a month.
We're looking through the empty apartments for medicine and putting together first aid kits.
Good. Rudy?
I talked to leadership this morning. We've been ordered to clean out any traitors that are still working for the Germans. Starting next week, we begin executing any Jewish collaborators that we can still find. Until then, it's imperative that we try to live as normally as possible. The Germans can't suspect anything until we're ready.
The Jewish combat organization of the Warsaw ghetto has judged and deemed you guilty of crimes against the Jewish people.
Wait a minute now.
For your collaboration with the German scum,
For rounding up hundreds of thousands of Jews and putting them on trains.
Because you lived like a king off the blood and tears of men, women, and children.
I didn't. I had no choice. They threatened to kill my own children, to kill my wife.
We've been sent here to carry out your sentence.
Jacek, please. I'll do anything you want.
The sentence is death.
The German army is on the way. We can't hold them off for more than a couple of days. They're sending tanks and bombers against children, armed with bottles and a few guns.
I love you. Oh God, I love you. Please tell me you love me.
Helena.
Please, I want to hear you say it.
Helena, please.
Please, Jacek.
I love you.
You'll marry me after the war? We'll have 2 children, a boy and a girl. I used to want 4, but not now.
Helena.
Maybe we can adopt some. It'd be selfish if we have children of our own when so many need parents. There aren't any synagogues left, and I won't have a white dress.
Helena, please.
Oh, Jacek, I'm scared.
It's so quiet.
I know.
You're shivering. Are you cold?
I'm okay, really.
Here, take my jacket.
No, I'm fine. Really?
Are you sure?
I'm okay.
It's okay to be scared.
It's not that.
Then what is it?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
Because it's stupid.
Hey, come on. You can tell me. I promise I won't tell anyone else. What?
It's just that I might not even live to see tomorrow, and I've never even been kissed by a boy.
Guys, it's time.
It's beautiful.
Wait till the Germans see this. It'll drive them crazy.
Our job is to protect it. Make every bullet count. Make every Molotov explosive, blow them to pieces.
Look at the sky. Look at the stars. Look at the city. Look at those dirty streetlights rotting below us. Look at the grass. Look at the trees. Look at the towns across the river. Look at each other. And remember, he who lives will tell our story.
It's the first day of Passover, the holiday of freedom. There are fires all over the ghetto. The hospital is burning. Whole blocks are in flames.
I was the first to go. I knew I'd be. They bombed the roof first because of the flag. As soon as it fell, I grabbed it and I held it high. I thought of my mother and my brothers and everyone in my family who was murdered. And I never felt so proud in my entire life. But then, a piece of chimney exploded in my face. I'm glad I couldn't see myself. I must have looked terrible.
Clouds of black smoke are choking us and there's no way out. We beg you, alert the world. Send a message to the Pope. Bomb the trains. Bomb Treblinka. Do something!
I killed 20 or 30 at least. I saw their faces. Their blood was as red as ours. They couldn't stomach that flag. They sent a whole unit after us with submachine guns. They climbed into the attic in the next building and opened fire. They thought we were trapped. The stupid assholes. When I saw their ugly faces, I grabbed our last grenade and made a run for it across the roof. They couldn't touch me. They couldn't get near me. And then I jumped straight through the attic window and opened the grenade. And I blew us all to bits. Nazi blood mixed with mine. Nazi bones all over the place. Dead, smashed, teeth and guts splashed on the ceiling. Oh man, it was paradise.
You never answered. Where were you? Where was everybody? Every day, we'd look into the sky, hoping for the sight of a friendly plane. The Germans brought in field artillery, and the ghetto was a flaming inferno. After 22 days, there was nothing left but rubble.
It was the best music we ever made. Better than Verdi, better than the chorus in Beethoven's Ninth. The sound of our guns and German screams and our laughter when we saw them run. When you said it was time to get out of the ghetto, I followed you. Those sewers disgusted me, but I knew it was the only way out. The water was filthy and full of rats. The smoke pouring in from the burning ghetto choked us. But despite all that, we had hope. Maybe there was a way to get out alive. But then, the thing I was afraid of most finally happened. We were caught and beaten and thrown in a cattle car. I cut my hands raw, pulling at the barbed wire, and I held you on my shoulder so you could get under the seat and break the lock, and we threw the door open, and we could see the fields and the trees rushing by in the night. We were so close to being free. I was scared to jump, but I was ready. Other kids were jumping from other cars too. Then the Germans on the roof started shooting. So you told me to throw my coat out as a diversion and then jump. It was a really good idea, Yatsik. But it didn't work. They saw me, and they shot me. And I sang Shema Yisrael as I bled to death on the train tracks somewhere between Warsaw and the gas chambers.
It feels like I spent my whole life waiting for you on the Aryan side in the concentration camp. You were the reason I stood in roll call for hours, the reason why I did slave labor in the munitions factory filling bullets with chemicals, the reason why I didn't kill myself when they made me a prostitute for the SS. When they separated us at Majdanek, I tried to memorize your face. When they shaved my head, I worried what you'd think. When my period stopped, I was afraid I could never have your child. But what scared me most was that you would die and I would be left alone. That I'd make it through, but you wouldn't be there. And then one day I realized that I was the one coughing up blood, and I was the one getting sicker, and that I wasn't the one that was going to be left alone. When we were liberated, they carried me out on a stretcher from Bergen-Belsen. They told me they were sending me to a hospital in Sweden and put me on a ship. Only you could have found me there. When I heard your voice, I started calling your name, and suddenly you were hugging me and kissing me, and I could smell your smell, and I couldn't stop crying because I wanted to be with you. I wanted to comfort you. I wanted to share whatever life was left with you. But it was too late. I died in your arms. At least we shared that, didn't we?
Majdanek was first. I worked in a storage house, searching through the valuables of the dead. The gold and diamond went to the SS. The clothes went back to Germany. One day, I hid in a cattle car full of women's clothes, and I escaped. The forest came next. I spent 3 weeks searching, trying to find anyone who would take me in. I found a Polish partisan group. They hated the Germans, but they hated the Jews more and tried to kill me too. I escaped from them as well. Butsin was next. I tried to escape from there as well, but Ukrainian guards and their dogs raced me up a tree and marched me back down to my punishment through the snow. 70 lashes with a whip. Flossenburg came after. We were served a cup of Ersatz coffee in the morning and a bowl of watery soup at night. We never bathed. We never changed our clothes. They called us subhuman. We were. Then, one day, they evacuated the camp, forced us deeper into Germany. They called it the Death March. Any Jew caught slowing down or trying to stop was automatically shot. Then, the Americans came, and we were free. I weighed 80 pounds. I had no hair. I had no clothes. But I was alive. During the war, I was sure that the Germans would succeed with their plan. That when it was all said and done, there would only be 5 or 10 of us left. 10 at the most, but probably just 5. That after we were found and fed, we'd be put into a huge museum in a big brick building filled with stained glass walls for people to come in and look at what would be an extinct species. More than 5 of us survived, but I still feel like I'm a museum. Only I'm the one standing there while the whole world is painted in stained glass windows, and I'm stuck here wondering, where did everyone go? When I went back to Warsaw, there was nothing left, not even a street sign. When I went to Treblinka, nothing but a pile of stones. When I went to Auschwitz, nothing but chimneys and barbed wire. And I can't stop asking the question, why me?
Forget about school. Let's go down the depot and hang out with my dad.
Jacek, Mama says you have to take me to the Saxon Gardens.
My papa's teaching me to play chess. Maybe we can play together.
I'll never know why. All I can do is keep telling their story.
Can you believe it? I got my first solo in the choir. You better be there.
Jacek, I have a message for you. From Helena.
All I can do is rejoice in their memory.
You want to come over for Shabbos dinner? You can see how the other half lives.
My parents said no, but I'm coming anyways. I'll meet you at the movie theaters at 2 o'clock.
All I can do is keep their memory alive. In me and in you.
Kommen weg auf unser Häusle weg,